Good afternoon. I'm Gravir Denzel. We're going to begin this noon with breaking news. Gwinnett County fire officials say thousands of gallons of fuel have spilled after a fuel tanker turned over at the intersection of Brazelton Highway and Hamilton Mill Road. Our Trayson Bragg is joining us live there right now. He's at that intersection. Trayson, what can you tell us?
Well, Gavir, this is still a very active scene, and in fact, Brazelton Highway and Hamilton Mill Road are both shut down at this portion of Gwinnett County. And take a look why. That is that overturned tanker there that you see. We have multiple fire crews and hazmat crews here on scene trying to figure out the best way to minimize the spill. And they say this all happened around 5:30 this morning, and they expect to be here for hours doing their best to handle this situation.
The concern is anything that's going to be an ignition source.
Gwinnett County fire officials say the driver of this fuel tanker hauling just over 8,500 gallons of gasoline was turning left on Brazelton Highway when the tanker overturned, spilling over 3,000 gallons of fuel.
We have evacuated 3 businesses. There's a daycare that was evacuated. They are closed. We've also shut down the BP gas station as well as the QT. So we set up a hot zone of about 500 feet.
The 3,000 gallons spilled into a storm drain that empties into a nearby pond on a golf course. Fire officials say quick action kept residents from being affected.
Diking and damming is what the technique is called, and we use different pieces of equipment that would actually absorb it and divert it. So we were able to minimize the amount of fuel that actually went into the storm drain.
The tanker is leaking from 2 points. Right now, the race is on to learn how to remove the remaining fuel.
We have a company here that is working with our hazmat team, trying to determine what's going to be the most efficient way to siphon off the additional approximately 5,500 gallons.
Once that decision is made, crews will drill into the tanker and siphon the fuel into a second tanker before eventually removing the rig. Now, I did mention that gasoline actually spilled into a storm drain, which spilled into a nearby pond here. Now, officials say while residents weren't affected, local wildlife here will most likely be affected. They're now working to figure out the best way to remove that gasoline from that pond. And again, they're going to be here for hours. For now, I'll send it to Rodney Harris, who has an update on your commute.
Yeah, absolutely.